I'm done with Dragonflight with Preach and Asmon. Let's take a look.
All right, I'm done with Dragonflight, and that's great.
Since Dragonflight came out, we have a roadmap of what the things are. And as far as Project MMO goes, where are we right now?
Project MMO.
I wonder what that is. I have no idea.
The first thing I want to talk about is the trading post.
Okay.
I saw this advertised and I was like,
I think this is a great change, by the way, a great addition.
I agree.
Before Preach says anything, I think it's great.
I really like the trading post. I don't think it's like game changing or anything like that, but it's evergreen content that is just good across the board.
Okay, but probably not for me as somebody who doesn't change cosmetics and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to check it out and actually see it, and this thing is genius.
Mega dub.
Actual genius.
Yep.
For the
Mega
people who want to
dub.
play World of Warcraft day to day. It's easy to say there isn't that much farming if you've done the renown farm. And as we saw with Dragonflight launch, people were pumping their renown farm like it was Shadowlands. Like they needed it, otherwise they were missing out on something. And people like grinded it out within the first few days, like managing to cap it by collecting dirt, shuffling through it like Shia LaBeouf, and then managed to... Well, I've got nothing to do now.
That movie
a classic thing, especially for the collectors who go out and do transmog and things like that and chasing those rare mounts. It wasn't... There's two things I really like about the trading post once I actually got down and looked at it. One, everything is nicely previewed. It shows you everything you can...
It's very polished. It's not like Blizzard. There was like this one intern and it was like kind of his thing that he wanted to do. And it's like, well, he was kind of like one of the executives' like cousins and he just got out of jail. So we figured we give him a job doing something and he just put this together. No. Like, this is actually, like, really well polished and put together. It's probably one of the most polished things Blizzard's ever put out in a while.
In a long time,
Locking things that you're not sure if you're going to pick up because you're hoping for something next month and it depends on your points. All the things that Blizzard typically doesn't do well with predicting people might have a problem with. It's like, well, you got to get it now. Like, corruption was like that, right? The corruption vendors, it's like, well, if you haven't got the points, it's going to go away. Unlucky. Ha, ha, ha.
Literal dog shit.
And this time they've come around and said, no, you can lock it in. Fine, totally fine. And it's a very obvious sign of the new management that is in at World of Warcraft. It's a very obvious sign of the kind of things like, no, let them lock it in. It's fine. Let's predict that. Some people will be right on the cusp, but they might not be able to get it. Like, why make it a thing? You know, why make it unpleasant? Guys, let's get a bit of all right.
I was at a fucking gas station, and there were these, there were like muffins, but they were like Reese's peanut butter cup muffins.
Damn.
And they were like $5, so I bought them.
Jeez.
They were cheap.
Wait,
Literal
that's cheap?
Trash. I've eaten almost every single
that sucks.
one of them.
It's trash. I ate every single one of them.
It is what it is. That's why.
To afford something next time, or they won't be able to play enough, and therefore they won't earn the points, and they might want to see what comes up next because they kind of want this thing, but they're not too excited about it. And now you can just lock it in and get it done. And a really nice preview. I, in fact, bought something. I had no intention of getting anything from the trading post because I don't particularly care for cosmetics. And I just browsed through and was like, yeah, I want that. I absolutely do want that. And I was shocked to find that. But more importantly,
I also think it's a good decision for them not to let you buy everything out. So you have to make decisions. And like, you can't just infinitely farm these either. Like, it's capped, and you can decide what you want to do every single week. It's like like the trading post is like Chuck E. Cheese, and like your parents gave you
with like the
$20, and you've got this many tokens, and you get 750 tickets at the end of it, and you can buy either
that's what I thought he was going to go to,
a comb or a like a Chinese finger trap, and you get to decide.
Traveler's Log. That's the second thing that I really like about this. It's just rewarding people for investigating parts of the game that they a lot of people will do this naturally, which is great. So it's not.
I completed my whole thing. I didn't even know it was done.
Which is what I thought it might be. I thought it was going to be like, oh, go and see the old world because nobody goes there. Go and do that. Go and do this. Go and take part in our seasonal events.
But there
are all there, and that's good to push people to try out things, especially with a game like WoW that's so vast. Yeah, a lot of people don't really know what's available to them. It was actually one of Dragonflight's core problems when it's released, is the community was just, we're not sure what to do. And then more stuff started to unravel as time went on. It's like, oh, you can farm these like super bosses, and these give you like these really cool items. Now, part of that was a good discovery by the community, but it also led to a lot of nerfs, a lot of changes, because people were like, oh no, we didn't even
That's all my fault.
test the stuff in the alpha and the beta, and now people are just hard farming everything and just going like MMO play.
They like nerfed it mid-farm on Asmon's stream, right? If I remember right.
There's like ants across the whole hill. So we do have that stuff, but they've also thrown in a lot of stuff that is day-to-day stuff. I was really surprised. They tend to like, or in the past, Blizzard has been very focused on rewarding you very specifically.
Yeah, only for doing the current content.
This is the reward and not much else. And it's been a bit of a problem for a while. It's like you will do, if you're doing Mythic Plus, you will get the vault and some Valor points because that's very specific to that area. If you go over here, you'll get rewarded for just that thing. So ever since BFA, actually, BFA is when they took it out. Legion rewarded you for everything.
Why would you have a shirt of Bolvar? I mean, that's like having a shirt with Luigi on it. He's not as good as Mario. Mario's better.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no reason.
With artifact power, like you would always gain artifact power regardless of what you did, and it was nice. And then in BFA they took that away. It's like, oh no, if you want Azerite power, well, you must take part in this piece of content. You must do Island Expeditions. You must do this. And they started segmenting it out. So like, if you fully enjoyed one path, you were only going to get rewarded for that one path. And if you didn't enjoy another path, tough shit, you had to go along that path because it was the only way of obtaining currency or whatever. Now they've done it. It's like, yeah, it's dungeons, PvP. It's whatever you do. It's doing world quests. You'll still passively generate rewards in case, if you're not fully invested in like completing your travel log, that's fine. Your natural gameplay will reward you anyway for giving you for stuff that you're naturally doing. So you're always.
Yeah, I think they can even do more with it though. I'll be honest. Like I've stopped playing WoW just because I felt like I was, because I actually really like the PvP now, but I felt like I was forced to do the solo queue. And the problem with the solo queue is if you're queuing as DPS, it's a stupid amount of time. It's like sometimes 20 plus minutes. And it just feels like you're wasting your time because sometimes you'll join and then someone will leave. Even though they made it now where you get punished, that doesn't stop people from leaving. So, yeah, I really think they could do more with it. And I hope they do.
Always going to be building up currency regardless.
Yeah, so you don't have to do things that you don't want to do. I think that's the main thing that like WoW has had a problem with for so long.
And exactly what I was just saying, and the reason why I just stopped playing was because I felt like they're forcing me to play solo queue in arena, and I was like, I don't like arena, like I never have. I actually really like the BGs, and I wish the BGs would reward more. Like the whole rated BG, I think that should be solo queuable.
Is it their focus was always on making you do something you didn't want to do?
Yeah,
those two things
Very
were really
true.
cool. Utterly shocked that.
Because yes, now you have more options, which is great. I just wish they had even more within those options, if that makes sense.
It was a bit of a bum that it was bugged for the first few days, and people were like, "Oh."
Like I feel like crafting is kind of shit for getting gear now. Like at first it was okay when you first hit the max level, like in the beginning, but they made it really annoying to make high-end gear. I really wish they wouldn't have. Because it's like, yes, there's going to be people who pay for it and blah, blah, blah. But it's like people pay for runs and mythic and raids. So what does it matter?
This is well shit. I mean, it's fine working now. And I'm glad I got to try it out. This is a great piece of kit. In terms of my targets then for World of Warcraft, I am kind of done with what I personally want in terms of Project MMO. Project MMO is what we're doing over the next month or so, which is to clear every raid boss in multiple MMOs to see how they're all diverged and split off to find their own successful path. That's going to be Final Fantasy 14, where we're currently focused on Savage raiding. We're doing Guild Wars 2, where we're going to be doing the raids and the strikes in that game. We've done one strike in that game, and it was phenomenal. And we're going to be doing Destiny 2 with their new expansion coming out, where they took the base MMO formula and spread around.
One day
But
I'll
in terms
play
of World of
Destiny
Warcraft,
2.
unsurprisingly, I kind of hit my goals extremely quickly.
I didn't like where Destiny 2 was kind of going. It's not that really. It's just I don't really like doing raids and stuff in Destiny 2. And in fair, I didn't really do it in WoW, like in a while either. So I really wish though Destiny 2 had it where if you got geared enough, you can go and like solo those things. Like I think Destiny 1, you could do that. Like with like Crota, Like you can have the max level gear and just go and do Crota and just instant kill it. Not instant kill it, but like, you know what I mean, solo it. I really wish they made every boss soloable from the previous expansion. Like WoW kind of does that, but usually it's like 2 to 3 expansions. I really wish it was just once the new expansion comes out and you hit max level and get pretty decent gear, you should be able to solo every expansion previous to that with the raids. Because that just, I don't know, I don't see a reason why not. The gear you get from that raid is not going to make any difference. So
shouldn't be any shock there.
Yeah,
because obviously I had established friends and family within World of Warcraft, regardless of where I come back. I mean, there's such a long history in this game that finding a team that progressed through the raid was not a difficulty. I'm not going to be going for Mythic Razageth. Not particularly interested in that. And we cleared Heroic. It was fine. Yeah. That's a lie. Okay, let's be honest. I like the Heroic raid. I think it was really fun. Group of friends. Enjoyed it, blasted it. Didn't take too long, like a couple of hours for us. Except Razageth. I really did not like Razageth at all.
It's too fucking hard.
Yeah. I haven't done it, but everything I've seen on it makes me not want to do it.
Like, that's all there is to it. It's too fucking hard. And it doesn't give you really good rewards. Like, you just get 411 gear. Is it easier to do Razageth or do Mythic 15s? I would say easily it's much easier to do Mythic 15s. So why would anybody go and do Razageth? Get good? Yeah. No, the problem isn't me getting good, it's everybody else in the group getting good. It's like this is the Mage Tower. Yeah, I can learn not to stand in the beam, but did Vinray learn how to not stand in the beam? No, he fucking didn't. And now we have to res him. And I'm mad.
I'm fine with gear overall making progress easier, and I've done several videos over the years about how you should be, after you kill a boss, your gear increase should make that boss easier the following week.
Yep.
Your most difficult kill should be the first one, right? That's a pretty...
At the end of the raid tier, you should just be able to go in there, slap your dick around, and then the raid's over. That's it.
Cool place to be coming from. Because
you earned it.
Yeah. That's I agree with
Razageth, at least what my team found is that
this boss is so fucking easy. I don't know why people can't do this. It's so fucking easy. But compared to all the other bosses, it's way harder, right? It's hard and it's easy. It's easy if you have your monitor on, but nobody has their monitor on. So it's extremely hard. But like with Diathia or with like Kurog, it doesn't really matter.
It was essentially just a gear check. And the fight is either almost impossible at certain points. Like, because we got there very, very early with our group setup, and it was very small, and scaling's always a thing. But we're playing with, like, very, very good players who were all mythic clearing players. And we were like, we just kind of just missed the DPS here, even with everybody sort of min-maxing and pushing and doing whatever.
There it is.
On our first week of getting there. And then the next week, the boss just fell over on, like, the first pull. It was very disappointing. Yeah. Because there's so many just DPS check marks in that. It's like you hit certain things in phase 1.
Well, it's that, it's the absorb shield, right? I mean, I feel like the absorb shield is the hard part in phase 3.
That almost sounds like a Lost Ark boss.
A ton of extra damage. You can survive, but like you're getting the hint then. Your damage isn't quite there. And then the platforms, if you're behind on damage, you simply do not clear the platforms in time to get into phase 2. And then if you scrape through by blowing more cooldowns in phase 2 to get to phase in the intermission to get to phase 2, then you've got the storm shield.
Yeah.
And even with like optimizing there, it was just and then it took like 5 or 6 item levels on everybody from another week of Mythic Plus and things like that, and then the boss just died.
Yeah, and it's like also like with Razageth, if every other fight is way easier, then people just simply are not going to do Razageth.
Yep.
Why would they go out of their way to do Razageth if it's way harder and it gives worse rewards?
At the very least, you'd get people to do it for the achievements, but that's probably as far as it gets.
Nobody's going to do it. That's what happened with the Jailer. It's bad design. Make the fight easier, or make it drop way better gear.
I was a little disappointed in Razageth. Visually, very nice. Mechanically, really liked it, actually. I really thought it was fun.
And like, this actually really goes to show. I remember Method, at the time, best guild in the world, okay? They got world first Jihoon in Old Deer. back in BFA, they killed Gahoon like 2 or 3 times, and then they stopped raiding because it wasn't worth the effort. We're not going to put in all this effort to kill this shitty fucking boss just to get more, what was it, 385 gear?
Yeah.
I liked what I did. I was tanking, and I love tanking. So only Razageth was a bit of a disappointment. I actually didn't mind Broodmother as much as I thought I would. My favorite boss is the Wind boss, though. I really enjoyed that, especially as a prop warrior having disruption.
Wrong opinion. Wrong opinion, by the way. Massively wrong opinion. I've never heard an opinion this wrong before in my life. However, what he's about to say is very true. Let's let him say it.
I would. My favorite boss is the Wind boss, though. I really enjoyed that, especially as a prop warrior having disrupting shout. I could gather all the ads really nicely. I could bypass mechanics and stuff like that. It was really...
A prop warrior can solo tank the boss because the boss's debuff only stacks up to 5. And you'll have charge or heroic leap up for every single one if you're talented into double time.
Okay.
Very much enjoyed that. Well, in terms of my personal goals, in terms of Project MMO...
The reason why I don't like this fight, by the way, is entirely the color scheme. I hate how you have these, like, circles here that have the same animation border as the effects on the ground. I think this is horrible design, and I don't think there's any reason that it should exist. I understand for immersion's purposes, but I think that gameplay and game design, like, that is the pinnacle above everything else.
Well, I will say, we've not stopped playing World of Warcraft.
That's why I don't like
somebody's going to come out and say,
mechanics are totally fine.
No, but in terms of our personal goals, we're kind of done there. That's great. We've achieved what we wanted to achieve, and I'm more than happy to go hard again next season, because I'm not unhappy with Dragonflight. I'll be logging in on a regular basis, do some M+, get my vaults, just steadily work up that way. But in terms of my personal day-to-day goals, I'm good. I'm really good, and I think that is a positive thing.
Yes.
It's exactly what I hoped Blizzard would leave, the taste it would leave in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why a lot of people are, even if people aren't playing Dragonflight, they feel better about the game because they were able to stop playing the game and not feel like they were, you know, they were losing out on valuable 0.27% DPS increases.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, I stopped playing, and I plan to come back. Like, absolutely. It's not like I stopped playing because I hated the game or was frustrated with things. I mean, I kind of wish they did the BG thing, but even then, like, I can still do BGs and earn honor. Conquest points. But it's more just the amount just feels really shitty compared to what you earn with the arena. That was my only gripe with it, but I still had a ton of fun. I just stopped playing for now because I'm waiting for the next, like you said, like the next season in a sense. Because I actually plan to raid next season, if possible.
Is that I'm really happy. I have no bad feelings. I've done what I want.
I wonder if anyone's like similar to his Project MMO, like if anyone's ever done a video on how hard is it to find a raiding group in each MMO, you know what I mean? Because I do want to still do that video with Classic WoW, with seasons, like what seasons I think would be interesting. But I think another video would be interesting to do would be to see how difficult is it to find a raiding guild, or, you know, a guild that raids, in each of these MMOs, like Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars. And I don't know if frickin' Destiny 2 would be a good one, but why not? You know what I mean?
To do, and now I could just sort of maintain. I can spin the wheels for the next season of content.
Yeah,
and that's cool. And the new season of content looks really good. It looks so fun. We know there's new raids coming. There's revamps coming to classes, and that might give me the opportunities to level those classes and have a play with them because they're changing Paladin, they're changing Druid. All those kind of things are really exciting for me. And
I heard they're buffing Retribution. I actually like Retribution, so hopefully that's going to happen.
Where I stand right now.
The Rep Paladin changes look really, really, really good, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Now, I know some people are going to go, oh, so you quit. No, not at all. It's just in terms of our YouTube content,
it's a break.
And personal focus goals. World of Warcraft is one of the easiest for me to complete because we already had access to all these resources while we were there.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm really happy with Dragonflight. Like, super happy with Dragonflight. There's nothing... The only bad thing... Let's break it down. The only thing I do not like right now is the sheer amount of Mythic Plus needed to get like upgrades?
10 mythic plus 16s in order to get one 418 item. I think 5 would be better. I don't think 10 is awful. I really don't. I don't think it's awful because it's a guarantee at 16 and above. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't, it's bad on alts. That's very true. And having to do this on multiple characters is very problematic.
Yeah, I think that's another issue with Arena as well as Mythics. But yeah, no, I didn't know it was 10. That is a bit much. I think 3 to 5 would be fair. 3, I think, is actually ideal.
I think that, again, like, having to do arbitrary farms on multiple characters should be minimized as much as possible. I have a very unpopular hot take that I would not mind if all gear was tradable per account.
Oh yeah, bind on account. Like, I think that's completely fair.
Instead of,
because you earned it. You know what I mean? It's not like you bought it from another person. You know what I mean? You actually earned that gear.
gear being soulbound, it was account bound. Gear being account bound in Diablo 3 allowed me to go and maybe play like a crusader instead of a barbarian. It allowed me to play a witch doctor instead of a wizard, and I enjoyed the game more because of that.
Absolutely.
I would enjoy, like, ultimately, I only look at it from this perspective. Would this make me play the game more and enjoy it more?
Yeah, because Final Fantasy XIV does it like that. Because your character is your only character, in a sense. Like, any gear you get is count bound because you have one character. But I do think, like, if you wanted to make new characters, you should be able to transfer to them as well. I don't know if you can, because I only made one character in Final Fantasy, but I think the logic of it, you know what I mean? Like, you could just swap between classes and just use any gear you picked up with them.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but people will be able to raid on 3K. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
I don't care.
Like, don't... Like, people who want to get, like, some weird clout playing their games, it's like, dude, like you said, gameplay and game mechanics should trump everything. So anything that makes the game better overall should trump people who care about achievements. That's just how it is. Because it's like... and the argument is just dumb against it, because the simple argument is, how did you get that gear? You earned it. You beat a boss, you did a raid, whatever, you did PvP, you earned the tokens or whatever it is, so you earned that gear. So giving it to your other characters, it's your gear.
I would like
just
that more.
Makes sense.
I'd be able to play the game more. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Completely
agree. It's a
agree.
little too much, and if you miss a week because you're...
It's like the transmog system. You know what I mean? Like, when you unlock a plate armor, when you're on the warrior, say, like, you unlock it for your paladin. You unlock it for your DK, Death Knight. So it's like, how annoying would that be is if you unlocked it on your warrior, you only unlocked it with that warrior for transmog. You know what I mean?
You're focused on something else, and you don't have time to do like 10 mythic pluses in a week or whatever, and another spark comes out. It's like another 10 to get an upgrade. And the only other alternative I know of is to go mythic raiding. And that will give you both. Now, I get it. It's very high-level gear. It still just feels like too much.
It's a waste of time.
And it feels a little overwhelming. And that's the real thing that I'm not happy with, is because I really like the crafting system. I have made friends. I've negotiated prices. It feels like a community. And I know there's cartels and stuff going on, and we might be doing a little project on that, the cartels. Our team is kind of looking into the cartel thing that's going on. To be done, is because we're certainly not stopping any WoW YouTube content for now. And looking into that. But personally, I've not run into that issue. I've whispered people, I've had a little conversation with them, and back and forth, we've negotiated a reasonable price. I've turned people down because they're too expensive. I'm like, that's too much, too rich for my blood. Got really good friends with rerolls, and then both...
It's hard for me really to say, like, kind of what my experience is with crafting, because it's so much contextualized around being a streamer. But the system seems like most people that I trust their opinion, people like Preach, and Preach is also a streamer, so his experience is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, I bet you have mad benefits, bro. I tell you something, this is good.
like high-fiving once we nailed it and got the right piece of gear. All that stuff has been great.
A lot of people
really
are saying
cool. It's just
positive.
getting the resource. Again, it's one of those things that feels like 10 is a lot. Right? You're looking at 20 to 30 minutes a run. That's a lot of time commitment, but I understand. Plus, I will say this. I understand it's supposed to be a long-term progression path.
Yeah.
But you have these sparks coming in just sat there, and you're like, I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to have that. Kind of want to make
I'm in that position right now, but the truth is I'm not really farming. Like, I'm not farming that hard. I'm not trying that hard. I think that what would make it a lot better is if you had a more casual option. So, like, for example, but let's see. Can we do a triangle here? Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll do one like this, right? And so it would be really nice if, like, right now, because like we have primal, and this is concentrated. I was about to. Okay. Centrated primal. Okay, right. It would be nice if we had another one that we could put into primals. So it's like you could do like, we're not acronyming that one. But anyway, you could do like 10 of those. You could get them to like world quests or something like that.
Because I was updating my launchers because I was looking at, like I was saying, I was thinking about doing the whole rating in each MMO. So I was bringing up my Final Fantasy, and I realized it didn't have me logged in. So I'm like, oh shoot. Okay, let me bring that up. Anyways, I didn't mean to get out of his video. Give me a sec, let me go back. I actually wasn't really paying attention as well.
Like you could
here.
We'll do one like this, right? And so it would be really nice if like right now, because like we have primal.
Is he talking about
this
no,
is
that's the map, right?
Concentrated. I was about to okay. Centrated primal. Okay, right. It would be nice if we had another one that we could put into primals. So it's like you could do like, we're not acronyming that one. But anyway, like you could do like 10 of those. You could get them to like world quests or something like that. And that would build up into a primal infusion, and then you could put 10 primal infusions together to make concentrate primal infusion.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Pyramid.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
So like you could at least progress a little bit without having to do the high-end content. Because like, I don't think it's a big deal, by the way. I really don't think it's a big deal that like
I also don't like that you can't get primals through PvP, or at least I don't think you can.
A casual player gets a 418 piece of gear. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Because, like, I'm fully stacked with 421s. And if I want a mythic raid, I'll have 424s. Who gives a fuck? They get one good piece of gear. In Classic WoW, because you're casual, well, most people are casual, so they should do what I want. So anyway, like in Classic WoW, if you're a casual player, you get Lionheart Helm. You get, if you raid Molten Core, you get the fucking Onslaught Girdle. You can have Thunder Fury. You don't have to raid Nax, and you'll still have a few pieces of gear that are really, really good. Best in slot, even.
It works. So I think and it's not even a bitter taste. It's just, it feels a little too much. It feels a little daunting. And I a pressure on myself, is guess what I would say, is I feel a pressure on myself to be like, oh, I think at this point, I need to do like 25 Mythic Pluses.
I think it also kind of feels shitty because people probably are assuming that like next patch we're just going to have to do like 10 more,
Pretty much.
To get a couple of upgrades. I'm like, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot. And if I really want those upgrades without having to, get into an organized Mythic Raid situation, that's kind of a bummer. Especially as it's not actually up to Mythic Raid quality. It's close. It's good, but it's not quite
It's not that good.
I was like, nah. I'll do it slow and steady. That's my plan. I'll lead it up. I'll take the approach that I advise for you guys, is we'll do it over the course of leading to the next season.
Right.
To get ourselves ready. But more than happy with Dragonflight. I've had a really good time. I'm not chilling on WoW because I'm unhappy. And that's a really cool place to be.
Isn't that crazy?
All right. Well, thank you
Yep.
very much for listening. See you again.
When was the
Bye-bye.
last time Preach made a World of Warcraft video where he smiled?
This thing is fucking genius. You don't want me to swear, do you? I know what you're thinking. It's like, swore in the first start.
Isn't that crazy? Like, he's actually smiling in a World of Warcraft video? That's nuts. Can't believe it. Yeah, centuries ago. Yeah. Back in the Dark Ages. Holy fuck, man. Dragonflight is smiling. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I feel like most people have been very happy about Dragonflight. Or at least most of the people I've talked to. I could be wrong about it, but overall, I think it's great. I'm happy. I totally agree with everything he's saying. It would be nice if they could... I just, like, this is the way I feel. Is I think that farming out 20 plus 16 dungeons to get your gear the first time is totally acceptable. Totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. However, doing it twice sucks. It's the same thing I've said with a lot of things. Farming something once is fine. Farming it twice is bad. That's it. I did 56 times. Yeah, that's a bad time. That's it, man. Reps should be account-wide. Yes, I think almost every single thing should be account-wide. I think it's a Tataru video. Oh, my. I don't know what that is. Yeah, farming it twice is shit. Exactly. So that's what needs to be fixed. Feels great knowing I can feel done without feeling like I'm behind. I still feel a little bit behind right now. I've been on that Too Much Mythic Plus since Shadowlands Vault was previewed, even after they reduced it. Well, the thing is, like, it's just not proportional. Doing a plus 20 is way easier than doing the Mythic Raid. It just is. So why would somebody go and want to do a Mythic Raid? It's like, for whatever point that you're at, unless you are clearing Mythic Razageth, for whatever point that you're at, the odds are that the effort required to get the equivalent reward in Mythic Plus is easier.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
That's it. That's what I think it is. Also, I made 100 of them. Completely useless. Can't send to my alts. Yeah, you should be able to send them to your alts. Why not be able to send them to your alts? So recently you've been for mega servers. I remember asking about an Allcraft a while ago. So what made you change your opinion? I've been for mega servers. And when did I say that I didn't want mega servers?
He's always said he liked them.
Everybody should be on the same server. There is no value and no improvement to a player's experience.
I was gonna say, Asmon's always been pro mega server.
Like
one server
person is, or other groups of people is creating. Yeah, so one guy, well, yeah, it was one guy in chat asked a question and I responded to it. That's the way it works. Like, I take questions from chat and then I read them and I respond to them. Yeah, most questions are one guy. Yeah. Anyway, what about GTA Online having bad player lobbies? I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm sure there's definitely little ways they could improve it. But yeah, Dragonflight is good. I played it pretty good amount. I probably played Shadowlands more and I enjoyed it less. So you can take that for what it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a fair video. Good, definitely a good video. That it is a really refreshing feeling that you can just take a break from WoW and actually have a roadmap on, like, if you want to come back, like, you know what's going to be happening. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think WoW's is probably as good as it's been in a long time. And I do wish they would do more. I just like the direction they're going. And as long as they keep pushing to that direction, I'm really positive of where Warcraft's going to be in the next few years. So you can only hopium. But so far it's been good. So I think it's fine. It's not copium, at least.